The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. Good morning from the offices of Duke & Duke in Hong Kong, China, where it's as foggy as a London spring. Boy, it is really foggy over here, folks, and rainy. Okay, the first thing, let's get on with the show. We have our good friend Adrian Togaray on this morning. Tomorrow we will have Norm Winsky, who is flashing a sell signal. On Wednesday, we will have Bill Koval of WDK Analytics, who is flashing a sell signal. So we'll be listening to what these gentlemen have, because if it doesn't work, guess what, boys and girls? We can blame it on somebody else. And that is the beautiful thing. Okay, let's take a look at the markets. First one is the gold market, folks, with the proverbial moment of truth down here. And if we don't hold this 1240 level, we hit 1241 overnight, and then we rallied, $8. And if we don't hold that 1240, that's the 786, that overnight range. We're looking at 1212 in the gold, and below 1212, you've got goodbye gold. Vaya con Dios is goodbye in Spanish. Hasta luego is goodbye in Italian, and below 1212 in gold is goodbye any language. So we'll keep an eye on that. The next one we want to take a look at, folks, is the stock market, because we've had some, really incredible moves here running up. But I think the easiest way to look at that, I'm going to switch over and do something a little different this morning. And we're going to take a look at the Wilshire 5000. Because it's got some really terrific numbers coming in here. What I've posted here, I have never traded this. All I know is that it's 5,000 stocks of the composites of the New York Stock Exchange. There's over 8,800 stocks listed on there. But as you'll notice, this has the 1-3-5 pattern. But what's interesting is that the 5 swing is exactly 61% of the number 1 top, and the 5 swing is exactly 786 of the 3 top. So you got two major ratios coming in. It's the 1-3-5 declining top pattern that was popularized, of course, by Roy Longstreet and his son Bill. So that's another one that looks, real interesting. Now, the other one that we want to watch, we're going to look at 3 of them this morning just to see if we can get an idea of what's going on here. And by the way, the S&P 500 futures and also the NASDAQ about 3 hours ago went up and took out yesterday's high by 1 tick. The yesterday's high, I mean by Friday. And now we sold off again. But this is some of the numbers that we're looking at here. This is the NASDAQ, and as you can see, the NASDAQ is at a perfect 61% retracement, and it's hit it 4 times, folks. It hit it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and today. So this is a really important number up here at this 44.15 level in the number. So we'll take a look at it. Okay, we got a caller, Yippee, from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Donald, are you there?
Yes, I am, Larry. How are you today?
I am very good, sir. What can I help you with?
Hey, I got a couple of questions for you. One question, actually, before we get to the SPY. On Friday, you posted the Bradley model superimposed with gold. I was wondering how you were able to do that.
Oh, it's a program in Ensign software. They have the Bradley model put into their program, and so all I have to do is to put up any chart, and I can put the Bradley model over it and take a look at it. I don't do it very often, but because it's related to cycles, I want to see sometimes if it's fitting really nicely, and that's the real reason. Because I've seen these things work a lot, but boy, they're far from perfect. we're usually looking at around 75%, but that's not a bad thing if you've got some patterns and ratios to go with it.
Okay, great. I'd like to look at the SPY today if we could. I've been
Sure.
examining it on the harmonic analyzer, and the harmonic analyzer is showing that it's a bat pattern. I know you've been saying that it's been a Gartley, and so I'm a little confused because looking at it on the harmonic analyzer, it looks like it's setting up to be almost a perfect bat.
Well, the difference between the bat and the Gartley is really a ratio difference. That's really what it is. It's the same pattern. It's just that there's a different ratio. That's all. If we look at the New York Stock Exchange Index, you'll see that you'll have a bet, or the Nasdaq, or the Dow Jones Industrial. You'll see that we do have a Gartley pattern. I think the easiest one, since we were talking about the Gartley, and it's something that I wanted to cover this morning, is if we, and I'll post it in here to the Tiger TV right now, if you'll notice the Dow Jones going back for a whole year, we have that same 135 pattern. But the interesting part of this Gartley that we have right now is that the CD leg from September to November is exactly equal to the CD leg that we had from February 10th to coming in on Friday. So those are perfectly equal moves to the upside, and it's just a hair's breadth from the exact 786. So I think that's what we're looking at here. And with all the astro stuff that we have coming in, we've got the spring equinox, we've got the Mercury changing signs. Oh my gosh, we just got we got a solar eclipse, we got a lunar eclipse and a full moon. Just a lot of things are happening. So, well, along with the Bradley date. So this should be a downturn in the market.
Okay, so I guess if we were applying time and trade to it at this point, we would be looking to fail on price and volume at the December 29th swing, which is we're just right up to it right now, I suppose.
That we surely are, and it's pretty good to see if that's right. But that the harmonic analyzer certainly does a good job at picking some time and some price things. So you're looking at the right thing, I think.
Okay. All right, great. Thanks for your help, Larry.
Hey, thank you for calling in. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
you bet. Okay, folks, we took a look at the Dow Jones, and what we're going to do now is we're going to take a quick look at some of the weaker sections of the market, and one of those is the IWM, which is the small cap. And here again, you see a market that's in a strong downtrend. We had the big ABCD move down into February, and now we've had a really strong rally, which is exactly 61% retracement of the high that we made on December the 1st. So we've got, and you can see a whole lot of 61% retracements on this chart as it's rallied back up. And this is almost equal, just slightly more than the rally that we had from September to November, and that's what we're keeping an eye here on the small cap. So that's the major. Now the third one that is really important that I think is where something is the crude oil. 877-927-6648.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile based scanner in the industry, powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Larry takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Okay, folks, the next one we're going to take a look at that is important to most of us, and that is the crude oil market. As you can see, we've completed a very nice ABCD pattern that was just about exactly perfectly aligned with the last rally that we had several months ago. And what this sets up is a possibility of a Gartley pattern to form down here if we can get down to the somewhere between $34 a barrel and possibly $32 a barrel if this in fact is correct. And what's happening since what occurred on Friday when we made that almost exact number, it missed it by 20 cents of being a perfect 61% retracement. The number was 41.42. We got to 41.22, and then of course we dropped $3 a barrel. And what we've done right now overnight has made a 38% retracement. So if we don't get much higher than where we are right now, 39.60 in the oil, we're most probably heading down towards that at least the 34 level. That would be my guess. So we'll take a look at what's going on with these markets. We've had a request to take a look at the Treasury bond market, and we're certainly going to do that because I've been bearish for bonds for a bit. But let's take a quick look first at the junk bonds, just to give you an idea of what's been going on in that market, because it's not a big market, but it's certainly important. You'll notice that you'll see the green line that's there and the swings on the downside, and we've just made a 61% retracement of the high we made back in October. That was the last rally high before we had the big drop, and now we went right back into that level, and it's almost a perfect 20-man line also in the junk bonds. If we take a look at the Treasury bonds themselves, looking at them from a long-term standpoint and looking at some cycles that are in here, you'll notice that we have some really nice time cycles that have come in from 2009 to 2012. And of course, 2015, they were pretty much spot on, making a 1, 2, 3 drive to a top pattern in time, and also a 1, 2, 3 pattern in price. And that's a beautiful ABCD there that's also. And now what we've done is we have broken below the 78% retracement of the last rally up, and we did it very, very quickly. So any move below 61.15 is going to usually trigger a lot lower prices. And since we've had a pretty good rally here over the last few days, I would assume we might even challenge that 160 level. And of course, below 160, you're going to be looking at something that could be, very, very nasty. And if we take a look at the shorter term rates and look at those on the long-term weekly, you'll also be able to see here that we have a potential for a very large ABCD pattern to, to bring out this low here of around 118 in the Treasury notes. That's 10 grand from where they're trading right now, folks. So that's not a small move. And the fact that we had a butterfly pattern that occurred exactly when we had the Gartley, this is a really strong pattern. And all it takes is a couple of really hard down days, and you'll start to accelerate with this thing. If you look at this really closely, with those cycles that we have lined up in here, that would be a perfect head and shoulders pattern. Also, your left shoulder from 2009, your head would have been around 2012, and of course your right shoulder would have been at 2016. And the other part that is important is the fact that it has good time symmetry along with the price symmetry. So that makes it a valid head and shoulders pattern, which happens to be one of the strongest patterns that Dr. Andrew Lowe looked at in his book, The Non-Random Walk Down Wall Street. So that's what we're watching in the interest rate markets here. And, it's still real early in the game. I think the ones to really keep an eye on today, from an easy technical standpoint, of course, are the stock market and the oil market and the gold market. Because if gold breaks below that 1440 level, we're going to have a big move down in gold. And as we've said before, there's a chance that gold has made a major top. And one of the reasons why I say that is that when I look at these cycles, I'm going to put the long-term chart of gold in here, the daily, and you'll notice that when we hit that top up at the 1288 level, I think we had 1287.90, we were making a 1.618 expansion of the October high. We were making exact 1.27 of the May high, and we were making a 78% retracement from the high in July of 2014, and we were making a 707, which is the reciprocal of the square root of 2, which is 1.414. We were making that one. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4 major, Fibonacci ratios coming in at that point, and we have backed off, a little bit. Now, there should be really, really strong support at 1212 in the gold, and that's nothing more than the large ABCD pattern that we would have had from 1287 down to 1224, and then back up to 1276, and that would take you down to the 1212 level if we get there. Below 1212, it's goodbye Charlie, because this thing is just going to have a lot of momentum to the downside. And as what we've seen in silver, we've also noticed that we've had this situation where we made the higher top and made the butterfly pattern, and then we've sold off quite a bit, and that gives us a pretty strong support in silver at the 540 level. That's looking at May silver. And, it's been in an uptrend because we've had higher highs, but the high that we had was an exact 1.27 of the swing from, mid-February down to March. That gave us the butterfly pattern that was there, as you can see on this chart. That was exactly at the number. And, folks, the high was 1618. I don't know if that means anything, but it certainly is a good Fibonacci number. Isaac Newton was so enthralled with that number that he had it etched on the headboard of his bed. So, and he's a pretty smart dude if you look at it that way. Again, I wanted to mention that we do have Astro Trends, Norm Winsky tomorrow, and then Wednesday we're going to have Bill Koval from WD Analytics. Both of those folks are having some pretty negative things to say about the market. And folks, we have to certainly respect Norm Winsky from Astro Trend, because I keep records here, and we've had that boy on 4 times, and all 4 times he's had a major turn in the market. They were all bearish ones, but no, actually there was four bullish. Let's try it again. 4 bearish and 1 bullish signs. So as long as he continues to give us good information, we're going to have Norm on the line. And the first time that he's wrong, he goes into the history books. Of course not. That's not, because we're, being wrong in these markets is, you got to be able to do that. I mean, that's like breathing. If you think you're never going to make any mistakes in these markets, you're in big trouble. That's for sure. We had a really nice workshop here on Saturday. We had a lot of nice people, hedge fund managers and stuff. It was a lot of fun. 877-927-6648. Stay tuned, and we should have Adrian Togaray on.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. I believe we have Adrian Togaray on the line. AT, are you there?
I'm here. Good to be with you, Larry.
Yeah, well, I'm all the way about 8,000 miles away from you, darling. We're in Hong Kong, and it's so foggy here you can't even see the South China Sea, and it's right underneath the window. So it's pretty foggy and rainy. So, listen, we have some questions already. Someone asked us why are emotions that affect trading performance? What's we know a little bit about fear and greed, but what really is the basic underlying cause of it? Do you have any idea?
Of course. When emotions flare up, you're more likely to sabotage your trading decisions and therefore your results because you're operating from a state of stress.
So you want to be in a stress-free environment. But Adrian, it's pretty hard to be in a stress-free environment in this business, isn't it?
Well, it depends upon how you approach your trading. I mean, if you approach your trading from a standpoint of it being a job that you do on a daily basis, that you just work within the parameters of a normal day, you're fine. And most of my best traders work that way. But if you're working from the standpoint of thinking about losses, then, of course, you're going to start building up stress.
Yeah. Well, what should we be looking for in ourselves to determine how we're likely to create trading losses? There's got to be a set pattern, probably.
Well, a good place to start is by asking yourself how you viewed and interpreted your parents' choices of stressful situations.
Oh, boy.
For example, if you were a kid, you're spilling a glass of milk. In my family, we shout yasu because we're Greek. This means to your health. This eases the tension of the person who feels bad about being a klutz. In other families, dropping a glass of milk creates screaming, punishment, and belittlement. So you want to ask yourself, how many negative behaviors of your family have you inherited as an adult? The next area to take notice of is how you handle all stressful situations. Are you the kind of person to brush difficult situations off saying, it is what it is? Or do you scream and throw things and 2 seconds later, you're okay? Typical Italian. Do you hold on to negative feelings for hours or days? Or do you quietly churn up inside ready to explode or create havoc within your inner self, or both? All stressful events not dealt with will create repressed emotions, which is the number one saboteur of your largest trading loss.
Okay, could we go in a little depth about these repressed emotions?
When emotions aren't allowed to express themselves fully and completely, they bury themselves deeply into our nervous system, into our neurology. The emotions become like a pressure cooker that builds up steam over a period of time. Add more such incidents, and the steam from the pressure cooker overtakes the lid and bursts out into one big mess. For a trader, that generally means a big loss.
Wow. You described a lot of my friends here. Give us an example of how one would repress these emotions. Alcohol's got to be one.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah.
Not feeling loved as a child. You know, the baseball game you lost, going through a divorce when you felt rejected or made fun of, that job you were fired from, a bad investment. Combine repressed emotions with other forms of sabotage, such as fear of success, fear of failure, or loss. You then have a double whammy of sabotage. These issues usually require coaching at a subconscious level.
Wow, boy, you start getting into the subconscious, you're getting into a quagmire. Listen, what'll happen to overcome these issues, and how long does it take? And I know what that subconscious can do.
Well, it takes a transformation of beliefs. A belief is what's true for you. This can mean instantaneous when you're working with a coach who has the training to help you with this. Or you can observe what you're doing now to overcome these situations and shorten the time. If you don't, it can lead to emotional flooding. That can lead to a cascade of losses.
Okay, you got me here. What does emotional flooding mean?
Emotional flooding is when you get giant waves of bad feelings that completely knock you down and take any rational thought with them. let's say you're in the middle of a conflict or disagreement with yourself or with another person. You flare into a rage or go deep into depression. Besides rage, you're dealing with hurt, panic, and fear. It's like your body, mind, and spirit is being taken over. Muscles clench, temperature skyrockets, your heart beats fast, and your stomach starts to churn. Your mind goes into overdrive. You're deaf to any input. You can only hear the blame narrative repeat in your head. You stir up the same emotions from people around, and it creates a boomerang effect of emotions. The children are panicked. They're thinking that there's going to be a divorce. The cats and dogs are cowering in the corner, wondering what they did wrong. The difference between flooding and more manageable experience of our emotions is one of magnitude. When you're in a state of emotional flooding, you reach the point where your thinking brain shuts down. Your nervous system is on overdrive. Your parasympathetic nervous system is in action, preparing you for battle or flight. Good trading gets derailed.
Okay. Now, what do you mean by parasympathetic nervous system?
This is the neurological system of your entire body that regulates all of the trying to think of the word. That operates your entire body. It makes you operate in such a way that you either operate smoothly or you operate in a state of stress.
Something like a defense system?
Yes, it is definitely a defense system. It's all of the organs of your body, all of your nervous system, your brain, every part of your body that leads you to taking action or no action.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's really amazing stuff. Now, we're all exposed to stress, daily, when we're trading. And, I've been pretty fortunate over the years. I still have trouble like everybody else does. But what can people do to prevent this from happening?
Well, you can identify those times that emotional flooding is more likely to occur. So you're aware of when these situations are going to be coming up. So you pull back from them, or you go into another room, or you stop the conversation that's starting to happen.
Hey, Adrienne, hold on with me 1 second here. We're going to have to come up to a break here, and what I'd like to do is after the break, let's start with this again, because it's really very important. And I've already had 3 questions from people coming in off of the off of our Tiger TV network here to ask some other questions here. We'll have some time to cover that. So why don't we come back in about, say, a couple of minutes. Could you stay with us, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you're looking to discover a new financial resource and diversify your financial portfolio, consider the new Market Safe Commodity Solution CD from Everbank. This 5-year U.S. dollar-denominated CD gives you exposure to 8 equally weighted commodities, including WTI crude oil, gold, silver, copper, nickel, soybeans, corn, and sugar, in one powerful CD. With annual pricing caps of 70% per component, you could earn up to 70% upside payment at maturity if the commodities increase in value across annual pricing dates. And should the opposite occur, your principal is 100% protected. Keep in mind, returns are based on CD performance. There is no annual percentage yield or periodic rate of interest on this indexed CD. Don't miss out. Take advantage of this financial resource designed to grow with the times. The April 14th funding deadline is quickly approaching, so hurry over to everbank.com/TFNN for the CD's term sheet and other important product details and disclosures. Once again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. This advertisement is sponsored content. Everbank is a member FDIC.
It's 2016, and TFNN has a brand new programming lineup to kick things off. Starting January 4th, Swim Lessons by Thinkorswim and TD Ameritrade will be airing 5 days a week at noon Eastern Time. Join hosts Scott Connor, Kevin Hinks, and Cindy Faber as they host their daily options program live at noon 5 days a week with no commercials for the entire hour. Nico DeHaan and Paige Clark will be moving their program, Living a Primal Lifestyle, to twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 a.m. until 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Wake up with Nico and Paige and start your day off right. The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour by Nadex will now be live Mondays and Fridays at 10 a.m. Start and end the week with the three hosts, Tom O'Brien, Tommy O'Brien, and Daryl Martin, as they break down the world of trading binary options and spreads. For all the details on the new 2016 programming lineup, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour, sponsored by Nadex. Up next on TFNN.
Okay, we're back, folks, and we're talking with Adrienne Tilgaray of Trading on Target, and what she's talking to us about are this emotional flooding that we get and what we can do to prevent this from happening. So could we start from the top, young lady?
Okay, the first thing I gave you is identify those times that you know emotional flooding is more likely to occur. During these times, know that you're becoming out of control and you want to regain that control by controlling others. It makes you feel better when you control others because you feel better about yourself. When you're out of control, you want to control things. Mm-hmm. Create a pattern interrupt for those times, like you can jump up in the air, you can count, punch a punching bag, or you can see yourself on a movie screen and create the character you want to see. Write your own script of how you want to be and repeat that script over and over in your mind. Or give yourself a mantra. These are words like I'm a good person with sound judgment who follows his trading results. Or do something to relax your mind. Relaxing CD, go to a church. I know a fellow that keeps a closet totally empty, goes in it, gets sensory deprivation. In other words, he doesn't see, hear anything, and he's able to calm himself down by doing that. Choose to think about happy or successful moments in the past or in the future. Emotions can work for us or against us. When you deal with them to your advantage, you can increase your ability to earn and keep profits in trading.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is not an easy task to do, so this is not going to be an overnight process, is it?
For some, it is when they've worked with a coach that knows how to deal with the subconscious mind. But for others, that's going to take some time. But time can be shortened when you have mental rehearsals to repeat and repeat the positive reinforcement, the positive anchor in your mind over and over and over. And when you do this over and over, it's just like what you do over and over to reinforce bad situations.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have so much experience in neurolinguistic programming. I mean, some of these things must act like anchor mechanisms, don't they, to try to get you back to your center point or something like that?
Well, that's exactly what they do. They are anchors or conditioned responses. These anchors are things that we normally do in our life. We have many anchors during the day. We have to look at those anchors that support us, because anchors are good to support us, and those anchors that do not support us. So when you're thinking about how you operate in your trading day, think about the things that pull you out of trading performance. Those are the anchors or the conditioned responses that will keep you from being the best trader you can be. Because as a trader, your basic job is to follow your rules. That's what you're there for. It's not to make money, it's to follow your rules. Because if you have good rules and you follow your rules, you're going to make money.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense to me. Now, do you have anything maybe you could tell our listeners that you might have to help them out?
Well, I have many resources available on my website. I would suggest that people do my trader's evaluation, and you could either get this in my entire course, and I will give a special to those radio listeners that call in and say, hey, I'm from the radio, give me a special deal, because it's normally $650. I'll give you a special deal, but you have to call me for doing that, or send me an email.
And what number and email should be? What number? Let's give it out again. We'll post it into the room too. But for those of the folks that are in cars and home and stuff, where they don't have a place to be watching the TV, what would be the phone number and the email they should go with?
I would go with the email. It's easy to remember. Adrienne at tradingontarget.com. Adrienne spelled ADRIENNE, the girl way of spelling it. Adrienne at tradingontarget.com. And the special that I will give to your listeners is the first part of the course, in case you don't want to, go with the whole course. This has an evaluation and consultation with me on the phone where I can tell you exactly what the problems are, how deep-seated they are, and what you have to do about it. This is normally $200, and for the radio listeners, it would be $150.
Well, that's like a Christmas day, and we've only got another 282 days for Christmas. So you're doing a really good job here so far.
Thank you, Larry.
Listen, I wanted to thank you for being on, and we're going to have you on again soon because folks really like to talk to you about this. We have one particular question that one of our listeners is instigating here, and that is that he's been doing incredibly well for about 6 months, and then all of a sudden he can't find a winning trade. He said it could fall in his lap, he wouldn't be able to do it. What's usually happening when something like this occurs?
Trading is a trip of discovery about yourself, and you're going to find that all of the issues that you've ever dealt with in your life are going to come up in your trading. And you can be fortunate for a period of time and only see opportunity. And then all of a sudden something happens, and then you can't see anything. You become blind to all of the possible opportunities. I couldn't think of the word. You become blind to the possible opportunities. There's always opportunities in trading. And when you can't see them, it's because there's something going on within your mind that doesn't allow you to see them. I would suggest that you narrow your focus and then bring your focus out to a bigger picture so that you could see the charts from different angles, because sometimes just a shift in the way you're looking at it will make all the difference in the world.
Oh, that's fantastic. One other question, some folk, is if they want to call in, what is the phone number that they should use?
919-851-8288.
8288. Oh, that's got to be good for our Chinese listeners because the 8s are very, very lucky.
That's true.
Hey, I want to thank you again for being on the show, and we'll have you on again soon. And then also we'll let the folks know when we have one of your splendid webinars coming up that are really fantastic. They're free. You have great guests and really terrific information. And again, we want to thank you for being here at TFNN today.
I really appreciate you. I really appreciate your listeners for listening in.
Well, I certainly appreciate you, dear. And you have a wonderful spring equinox today, okay?
That sounds good. Travel safely.
All right. Thanks a lot, AT.
Bye.
Okay, folks, that was Adrian Togaray from Trading on Target talking a little bit about talking a lot about the psychology of stress in our business, which sometimes you never have stress when things are good, folks. You have stress when things are bad, and it brings you to the old Chinese adage that which doesn't destroy you makes you stronger. And I certainly think that's true in trading. There's no question about it from my standpoint that's what's happening, because I have been through those games before. 877-927-6648.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to the Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, it's time to fish and cut bait. We have a situation, a couple of trade setups here. The bonds have just made a head and shoulders pattern from March the 4th. It's absolutely perfect. We should not take out the lows of 161.20. We're trading 161.26 right now. If we take out 161.20, this is most probably is not correct. And it's got to take it out like 4 or 5 ticks. It just can't, hit 161.19. So it's, if it gets 161, 15, then you would certainly say that it's wrong. But right now it's set up pretty good. We also have a situation to keep an eye on in crude oil because we had a $3 break from the high we made Friday into Sunday, and the 61% retracement on that comes in at 40.20, and you want to watch April crude oil prices at 40.20 because if it's correct, well, not if it's correct, but if it's bearish, it shouldn't get much higher than that, and the market should not get above 40.80. So you've got a 60 points between the 618 and the 786, and then also in the S&P 500 from last night's high that we made up at 2043 and change. We just made a 78% retracement back up here at the 2040 1.5 level. And that should probably stop it, but one never knows. But those are the three things that, and they're all related to, the stock market. Each one of them, people watch, very, very closely. So that's the bottom line of what we're looking at. But we are over some major cycle stuff, and we had Adrian on talking about stress, and that's where some of these things come from. But with Mercury changing signs, we have a lunar eclipse, a full moon. We have the vernal equinox or the spring equinox today that extends all the way into the 23rd. And remember, those equinoxes are so very, very important because they were talked about by the Sumerians and the Babylonians when they planted wheat and crops, because that's the beginning of the spring season. So it's very important. So live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.